If horror affects you easily, do not listen to this.
It was 1984. Daniel worked as a co-driver on a freight train running overnight routes out of Moscow-Yaroslavsky Yard. That night, the train was passing through a dense forest outside the city with no stations, no lights, only tracks cutting through darkness. The engineer, Robert Hayes, was driving while Daniel rested behind him, listening to the steady rhythm of the engine, when the radio suddenly crackled with an urgent message. Control reported an accident ahead and ordered them to stop immediately. The train slowed and came to a halt in the middle of the forest, surrounded by silence. As the engine idled, Daniel heard Robert speaking softly as if answering someone, which made him look up. Robert was leaning toward the side window, and outside the train stood an old woman, thin, around 80 years old, her face close to the glass. Calm and patient, she asked Robert if he had any leftover food, and then asked him to open the door. Robert hesitated and reached for the handle, and that was when Daniel realized something was wrong because the engine window was far too high above the ground. Daniel rushed forward, slammed the window shut, locked the door, and shouted for Robert to start the engine, while Robert argued that the woman needed help. Shaking, Daniel told him that no normal human could reach that window. When Robert looked outside again, the woman was no longer small, but impossibly tall, her body stretched upward, her face level with the glass, her lips curling into a slow, deliberate smile that was not human. Without making a sound, she vanished into the forest. Robert restarted the engine at once and the train pulled away. Neither of them spoke for the rest of the journey, and years later, Daniel would say that stretch of track outside Moscow never felt the same again, because whatever stood beside the train that night was never asking for food.